Good morning and welcome to the Town of Barnstable's formal site plan review. Today is December 5th, 2024. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and will be broadcast on Channel 18 for the public's benefit. The purpose of site plan review is to ensure that all development activities regulated by the town are completed in accordance to federal, state, and local regulations. To that end, this meeting brings all the town's regulatory agencies together in one place so they do not have to go from department to department in order to try to understand what's required to obtain a permit. The way this process will work is Maggie will read the case into the record. The applicant will then have an opportunity to give a presentation of their proposal. From there, the staff, I'll bring it back to staff for comments and questions of the applicant. Just as a note, it would be helpful if you could mute your microphone if you're not speaking, and then when it is your turn to speak, if you could just state your name for the record. That concludes our housekeeping. There are no public comment portions of this proceeding today, so these are just presentations to the site plan review committee. Maggie, would you like to read the first case into record?
Sure. Our first case today is site plan review 24-62 for Independence House, represented by Tim Sawyer. The address is 160 Bassett Lane, Hyannis, map parcel 309232. The zoning is the downtown village as well as the AP overlay. The applicant is proposing to add a 3,466 square feet of counseling and resource center to the existing building. Renovations include handicap ramp, porch, expanded and improved parking, new curb cuts, and relocation of curb cuts. There are 31 parking spaces proposed. This application is continued from the 11/7 formal site plan review meeting.
Mr. Sawyer, are you going to be doing the presentation again today?
Yes. As Maggie had mentioned, this is a continuation. We had comments from the fire department and DPW at the last hearing. The fire department wanted the turning radiuses, which we resubmitted. So that has been submitted, and then we had DPW comments related to drainage, which the engineer, who is also online, if there are any questions, he revised that in consultation with DPW, and that was also resubmitted. So hopefully today we will be getting our final.
Sorry about that. Did you want to pull up any plans or anything like that, or you can just go straight to comment? You presented this before to the public, so.
Correct. Yes.
Why don't we start with we'll start with DPW and fire because those were the comments of concern. So we'll start with DPW. Nick, do you want to comment on this?
Sure. So Nick Cleany, DPW. Just some housekeeping comments for permits. Project will require road opening, trench permit, and sewer connection permit prior to commencing construction. The road opening permit will be required to complete the work within the public right-of-way. Any road closures proposed to facilitate work require a traffic management plan submitted, reviewed, and approved by the town DPW. Any tree removal or plantings within the public right-of-way will need to be coordinated with the DPW tree warden. Any address changes need to be coordinated with Hyannis Fire and DPW. Sidewalks damaged during construction activities need to be replaced to DPW standards, and sleeving of sewer water lines will be required wherever the minimum separation distance between water, sewer, and drainage and sewer lines cannot be maintained.
Thanks, Nick. Captain Lemon?
Thanks, Jeff. Good morning, Tim Landman, Hyannis Fire Prevention. Yeah, Tim Sawyer sent over new truck templates that are satisfactory as far as I'm concerned for getting our apparatus in and out of their proposed project. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Licensing, please.
Thank you, Jeff. Aaron Logan Licensing. We have no comments on this application.
Great. Asset management,
Thank you, Jeff. Grace Rogers, Asset Management, no comments.
health division.
Thank you, Jeff. David Stan with Health. We have no comments.
All right, I'll just speak to building real quick, and that's just that all of our comments remain the same as the previous formal and informal meetings. And does anyone object for this to move forward to permitting? Seeing no objections, you can proceed to permitting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Okay, our next application today is site plan review 24-78 for Ira Toyota, represented by Matt Eddy. 1040 INO Road in Hyannis, map parcel 294002. The zoning is split between the HB and B as well as the GP overlay. The applicant is proposing the demolition and rebuilding of the front portion of the auto repair building and a new two-story addition in the rear of the building. Project also includes demolition of the former car rental office building and adding paving for vehicle storage. Applicant has also continued from the 11/7/2024 formal site plan review meeting.
This has
Good
been to
morning.
formal. This is a continuation from another formal meeting as well.
Correct. So, good morning, Matthew Eddy, professional engineer with Action Eye Engineering and Surveying for the record. Just real quick, I think this should be pretty straightforward. As you just said, it was a continuation from the prior formal. Discussed with Matt Roble a few minor comments that he had. We confirmed that no stormwater permit is required as the disturbance is under 1 acre. We added a stabilized construction entrance and silt sacks as he requested, and we added a do not enter sign on the western driveway. So I believe that was the only outstanding comments. And with that, I'll turn it back to staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Let's start right with DPW, please.
DPW. Project will require road opening, trench permit, and sewer connection permit prior to construction. Road opening permit is required to complete work within the public right of way. Any road closures close to the facility require traffic management plan submittal, review, and approval by DPW as part of the filing. Sewer connection permit. A pre-treatment questionnaire will be needed to be submitted to the town's water pollution control facility. The contact information for Kevin Follett will be provided to you, and he'll be the one that you can contact in order to get that questionnaire. Prior to obtaining that sewer connection permit, the applicant will need to provide calculations verifying the existing oil water separator is appropriately sized to accommodate the increase in flow associated with the proposed 2-lane service drive and 2-story tech and parts additions. That shouldn't hold up process, but they'll need to provide that before obtaining the connection permit. Any tree removal or plantings will need to be coordinated with DPW tree warden, that's Andy Bernier, and any address changes will need to be coordinated with Hyannis Fire and DPW engineering.
All right. So Nick, your microphone was a little funky there, but I know we've had a previous discussion on this, and there's no outstanding issues that would stop them from proceeding to the.
Correct. The only thing I want to make sure that they're aware of is that they need to provide calculations verifying the oil water separator is appropriately sized. So I don't know if you guys heard that or not.
Yeah, that's understood. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Glad you understood it. All right, well, we'll just bring it back to some of the other staff because we're all in the meeting together here. So Captain Lamon, any further comments?
We have no new comments on this. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. Licensing?
Thank you, Jeff. Excuse me, Aaron Logan Licensing. I was ill for the last formal, so I'm glad I have an opportunity here. Ira Toyota has a current Class 1 auto dealer license that will just need to be amended to make considerations for the new space, and that is all. Thanks.
Excellent. Health division?
Thank you, Jeff. The Health Division only has one comment, and that is that they need to register their hazardous materials with the Health Division. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Grace Rogers, Asset Management.
Thank you, Jeff. There are no new comments. Thank you.
Excellent. And building comments will stay the same as the previous formal meeting. Does anyone have any objections for them to moving forward in the permitting process? Seeing no, you guys are approved to move forward.
All righty. Thank you very much, all. Have a great day.
Yep, thank you. Enjoy.
I know.
Okay, our last application today is site plan review 24-83 for Holistic Health Group Incorporated, represented by Ed Pesci and Tim McNamara. The address is 120 Airport Road in Hyannis, map parcel 294014. The zoning is IND as well as the GP overlay. This applicant is a change of use from a restaurant to a medical marijuana treatment center. The applicant proposes to utilize approximately 4,600 square feet within the proposed 5,700 square foot building for its retail operations, limited to current patient card holders under Massachusetts law for the medical use of marijuana. Other adults will not be eligible to enter the premises without a patient registration card.
Thank you, Maggie. Who's going to be doing the presentation today? I don't see Mr. Pesci here.
Tim, you're on mute.
Hi, everybody. Tim McNamara. I did expect Ed to be here. Hadn't heard from him, but I think we reviewed the details of the site plan in the last informal meeting we had. So I can take the lead on this.
Sure. Do you have, so this meeting is really for the public to hear these proposals that are coming through before they get to the zoning board. So we're kind of looking for a full presentation, going through the site plan and the plan of the facility. So that's something you can share?
I can pull up the documents, yeah. Did have a slide deck that I had prepared for him. Let me see here. Do we want to go over the site plan documents, or we did get architectural drawings as well? It's a little more detailed.
Yeah, this is more related to the site plan, the site itself. So going through that and addressing any comments that were provided through the informal meeting. We're basically looking for pretty much the same presentation possible.
Yeah.
We can certainly continue it to our next formal meeting if that's.
Well, I mean, I can share this and just review with everybody sort of what we discussed last week. Hold on, let me try to share here. All right, everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is not the right one, I'm sorry. I have so many of these documents now. I apologize for this. Okay, so this is the existing conditions. On the last go around, we talked about, you know, what the planned operation was inside, but on the last go around, there were some questions about parking, I believe. And we provided documentation of the easements that
Yeah.
accrue
Can I
the,
just stop you real quick, Tim?
yeah, sure. go.
Can you just give us, we'd like a full presentation similar to, you know, outlining the whole project and the site, and then
Okay.
addressing some of the comments that we had from the informal meeting.
Okay.
So you can basically start from the beginning.
Okay, I will. And Maggie, just to mention it, I never got any documented comments from the last meeting. So I'm kind of going on memory. I don't know if you have anything like that.
Okay, they were uploaded to the portal, Tim. I'll make sure you get a copy.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, because Ed was in the
Sure.
portal.
No problem.
So what's planned here is a medical marijuana treatment center. And under the Barnstable ordinance, that could include a variety of activities, including cultivation and manufacturing. But for this project, we are only doing a patient dispensary. So we are only selling to registered patients here. There's no other manufacturing or cultivation going on inside this building. A medical marijuana treatment center is, is when the law came out in 2012, it was required to be, you're required to be a vertical operator. So you are required to grow and manufacture your own products. And we do have that in place already in Middleborough, which is where I sit today. So this would just be a second location for the patient side of patient-facing sales. To be in that to operate a MTC, the state does impose pretty onerous requirements in terms of security, so that in most cases the local police really don't have much responsibility because all of that is like I said, it would be the most secure building in any community that you would locate one. So what that means is that from the public view, there's really nothing you can see inside the building. They mandate that the windows are shaded or frosted. Going to the entrance, which would be in the existing location of RVN's entrance, if you've been there, I'm sure, right here. We'll be creating a man trap, which is an additional layer so that anybody coming needs to demonstrate evidence of current updated registration as a patient with the state of Massachusetts for medical cannabis. Once that person has verified that status, they can then proceed through the man trap and then enter the actual sales floor. So if you compare that to, say, a liquor store, basically anybody can walk in and out of one of those. This is a much more secure facility. Once inside the facility, the building is covered with cameras. Likewise, on the outside of the building, camera coverage needs to be continuous all around the building to ensure that especially that at all points of entry that any person coming in or out would be identified. Other aspects include of security that the product needs to be tracked from seed to sale. So there is a software called Metric mandated by the state where each individual package needs to be tracked. And that goes all the way back to growing and manufacturing so that there is no diversion as it's described in the law. From a traffic standpoint, the medical market is actually quite small and declining. So we would be pulling from roughly 1% to 2% of the general population. So if you consider communities that do not currently have a medical marijuana dispensary. That would include Barnstable, Yarmouth, Dennis, Harwich, all the way down really to Provincetown. So in some sense, and we have awareness of this just based on interacting with the public, there really isn't meaningful access to medical cannabis on Cape Cod for a lot of those, especially down Cape communities. Mashpee and Sandwich does have two co-located, or each has a co-located medical and adult use dispensary. But other than that, there really isn't anything farther down Cape. And as we all know, Barnstable tends to be a hub for a lot of the Cape for access to anything from food to clothes and everything else. So this would be, a great point of access for those individuals. What else can I describe? As far as so we talked about security.
Touch on the site and the parking and those type of requirements as well.
Sure. So yeah. So the ordinance requires one parking space in this instance for every 200 square feet of floor space. So what we have outlined here in the site plan is 37 total spaces. Those spaces are comprised of what's on the property free and clear, as well as an easement granted from the neighboring Cape Cod Healthcare parcel, as well as remaining spaces after an easement that has been granted to Cape Gunworks. So more than adequate parking. I think that the ordinance was probably pretty conservative based on when it was drafted and based on my experience with the ordinance in the past. And I think that this is, way more than is adequate for just a medical dispensary. Like I said, the population that we would pull from is quite small. So documents, reciting the nature of those easements are in place. In practice, Cape Cod Healthcare does not even use this area. I think maybe some of their clients might accidentally exit through here. But in most instances, this is simply just extra area that they never really use. There, on the subject of the ordinance, there is a requirement that there's a buffer between the entrance of this facility and any schools, daycares, after-school facilities, religious institutions. If we go back to the ordinance change, that would have invalidated the entire, or the way it was written before, would have invalidated the entire overlay district. That has been changed. The nearest religious institution would be the Zion Church, which is in this direction, and I do believe I have. Are you guys seeing this new document?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I didn't know if it was still on the old slide. So as you can see, from entrance to entrance, we are 827 feet and change from the Zion Church. So it does meet that part of the zoning ordinance. What else? I'm not sure. Were there other questions remaining on this?
We can bring it back to staff and they can address any questions with you directly. If you don't mind just dropping your screen share.
Sure.
Maggie, did you have any correspondence on this that you'd like to read in?
I don't have anything to read in, but planning and development said that due to the ordinance, an appearance for a special permit will be required at Zoning Board of Appeals.
DPW engineering.
Nick Cleany, DPW engineering. We don't have any comments on this application.
Thank you. Captain Lamon.
Thanks, Jeff. Tim Lamon, Highest Fire Prevention. We've got no new comments other than what we've previously said regarding fire protection in code review, and that fire protection be included in any construction control documents. And when things are complete, we will recommend the addition of a fire department key box for the property. Thank you.
Thank you. Licensing.
Thank you, Jeff. Aaron Logan Licensing. We have no comments.
Yeah. Health Division.
Thank you, Jeff. David Stanton with Health. We have no comments on this one.
Asset Management.
Thank you, Jeff. Grace Rogers, Asset Management. No new comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Officer Kelsey.
Chris Kelsey, Barnstable Police Department. Just to make a comment on your note concerning security, we will be working closely with the state, and you will probably see dual compliance between the town of Barnstable and the state of Massachusetts.
Yeah, we'll go through everything.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I had intended to reach out to you. I just didn't get your contact information. Mr. Kelsey, do you want to give that to me now?
You know what? I can reach out to you offline.
No problem. Have a good day. You know where to find me. Okay.
I'll find you.
We'll get you.
Yeah, and just to reiterate that, I didn't mean to pave over the security part, but you know what we've often done is provide a security plan to the police department just to review. You know, it's not something we tend to publish widely, and also obviously have a direct line. But what we've always said is that you know, within hours of any incident, we would be able to provide a thumb drive giving camera footage of any and all areas affected by the incident to the police department. So it's a lot easier than some of the convenience stores you've had to deal with.
Right. No, that all sounds great, and like I said, we can definitely meet offline. There'll probably be more than just me, but we can talk about all that stuff in a different venue.
Great, thank you.
Is that all, Officer Kelsey?
Yes.
All right, I'll just give a quick building notes. So the building permit's going to be required for the renovations. It is going to be a construction control project. We are going to be looking for an existing building code analysis to go along with the permit, and signage requires a separate permit through the building division as well. So this will be moving forward to the zoning board as required by medical marijuana overlay district zoning ordinance. Does anyone see a reason why this can't proceed to ZBA for approval? Seeing none, Mr. McNamara, you can proceed through the ZBA.
Thank you, and I apologize for the delay, but I appreciate everyone's time.
Good job putting that together on the fly.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
That's it, Jeff.
Those three cases, I was anticipating a longer meeting.
Yeah. Good job.
Excellent. All right, that concludes formal for today. Thank you guys for your assistance, and we'll see you next week at informal.